Hi, all freeze cracked here. I haven't been posting videos in a while, so I thought I'd do some stuff here. Warming up a little bit, actually. Actually, it's way too warm. In the 80s in February, but oh well. Push down on that to make it sink. There's a big hump there. Kind of a hump here. I've been thinking about y'all and what I can tell you that's helpful. Flake just jumped up and hit me in the glasses. I don't think this setup is too good. I mean, maybe an afternoon setup or something with the sunlight the way it is. I wanted to try and get it to where I could maybe go back over some notching, because it seems like people online talk a lot about the problems they have and are concerned about notching. And I actually see a lot of points posted that are fine except for the notching. And of course some people post broken points too. Spend time working on it and then break it when notching it, so kind of wanted to go over some of that, but the way these shadows are and everything, I don't know if it'll work right now. One of the problems that I have is, you know, I didn't really start out doing this and didn't really want to do it just to be entertaining. I was trying to actually be helpful, and so when I made when I make videos lately, I go back and I look at them, I'm like, well, that's just covering old ground or not covering anything really, or too goofy. This rock's got little seams and junk in it, but this is one of my favorite colors of rock, and I normally don't worry about that too much. I normally just do what I can do with the. Okay, so I really don't have a ridge there, but I've got a thickness, so it's kind of spread out. But a major problem that I see people having is continuing to support. You know, people talk about, oh, I need to support. Well, maybe sometimes you need to not support. Some of the methods of support, some of the accidental support, you know, I've talked about support a lot. Well, I haven't talked about accidental support enough. People ruin their rocks and cut them in half, cause reverse hinges and stuff like that with accidental support. And basically on that hit right, well, that hit, I was grabbing the back edge, put the front edge down and hit in at exactly what I thought to be the right angle, with no pushing whatsoever on there, none. You push on there on that, you're gonna be holding two pieces usually. I'm constantly thinking about what I can do to help people get where they want to be with their napping, to where they can have, you know, there's a lot of, you know, you watch it a while and you figure out there's a lot of ego involvement in napping, and a lot of really, really strong desire on some people's parts to be good, or good as somebody else or whatever, and I have my own jealousies, the people that I wish I was as good as, etc. Problem with it is I'll never get there. In many cases, started too late. Ow, dang it. And I knew better. That cut me pretty good. I hit obliquely. You know, I hit like this, and I was holding underneath, and it jabbed in the side of my hand. I'm actually fairly tired. I was doing big work yesterday. Big work is fascinating to me, but it's kind of frustrating, because you really, I think, need to have a fair amount of large material and have the opportunity to hit quite a bit of large material in order to figure crap out that, believe it or not, there's a lot of differences between working big crap and working small crap. The staging of it all is daunting. Stepping down, I want to go a little faster with some of this. You might wonder what I'm doing. Well, the balance issue. In here, I'm just trying to get it sort of straight in line with everything. I still got some squirreliness in the shapes here. I'm going to go ahead and knock down on this to come back on that. If you try and hit something like that, I can turn that like that and hit it, and it'll wrap some of that off, but it won't get high enough up on the hump to probably get a bunch of it. This is a problem because this is low and I want to hit up here, but I've got this little flare, this little rollout to make it hard to get in there. So instead of trying to get in there and hit where I want to, I think I'm going to try and cheat it and raise that edge real aggressively and just hit on the edge and hold it together. You don't really want to hold things together like that when you're down close to your finish point, because you see how this stutter stepped right there? That was because of the support, and it's fine right now. That one I aimed more downward. Blenders. It's fine right now. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't matter if I hinge it even. Coming up. I've been trying to think about my earlier videos and how much I've misled you with stuff. because I keep learning. I don't know if you see how much I'm letting this thing rock, but I let it rock and a flake got me on the back of that hand when it flipped down. And it's funny, I recently posted about that and preventing that, but I didn't prevent it. If you work on your leg, of course, it's harder for it to do that, but man, I'm just rambling. That's what I was afraid of. See why I don't make videos? That's almost a square edge, and by hitting almost straight down, I kind of caught it enough and hold it gently together and go almost straight down and don't try and do too much. And you can sometimes make them blend pretty good, even though they shouldn't. Okay, now look. See, this is kind of wrong, and this is definitely wrong. But that's come up some now, so I'm just going to hit this crap. Hit it downward. The edge is failing. Tilt it a little more and hit downward, and then it works. Just putting pressure on those ridges to make them blend. Just rolling over. And that bump was high, so I just hit the side of the bump obliquely to make it roll. I don't like the way this edge is rolled right here because that's very weak along there. Strengthen it a bit. You see, that ran pretty far, even though it's all backwards. That ran all the way over there. But the support is, it's a big deal as to how exactly you do it. I mean, the fine point of it matters a lot, and I've focused a lot on, oh, well, you need to support this, you need to support this with leather and do this crap. The concern I have with that, what I was thinking about on this yesterday, part of the reason I wanted to make the video, is I haven't qualified my statements enough on that stuff by saying, look, don't do it wrong. You can get these sort of divoting or diving terminations, not really diving termination necessarily, but it looks like the flake sometimes tried to burrow in a tiny bit when you support too much. And it's particularly a problem on tough rock. Well, that's turning into a biface. I don't have it thin, but we can get aggressive with it. Great. You know why that did that? I'll tell you why. I went heavy. This isn't real heavy, and I didn't hold it really tight, and it moved when I hit, and the platform wasn't optimal. But anyway, step down one. That's from the first hit. The first hit, it didn't initiate the flake. And so it put a big old force cone in the rock. It applied the force to the whole rock rather than making the flake go. And part of this is from when it kicked up, when I let it rotate down in my hand. I hit it and it pushed it downward. Well, no, that wouldn't have done that. I don't know what I'm talking about. The good thing is I didn't mess up the point that's in there. not an issue. That cut off part of it. That cut off a big part of it. And you can see, you know, you just look at it and see if you're, how deep down in the rock you are. There's some inclusions and little problems in this rock though. So far this is looking like another one of these videos that I don't want to use. Right back.